Hi, I'm Amber.
Hi, I'm AJ, and welcome to Mountain Traditions Homestead.
Hey guys, welcome back to Mountain Traditions Homestead. We are back with you today with another garden related video. We're going to be sharing pretty much everything that we're going to be growing in our garden this year. It's getting close to seed starting time. If you didn't see our last video, we shared some tips and tricks on how to start your seeds easy and cheaply. So we'll link that here in the video if you'd like to go check that out. But today we're going to talk about everything we're growing, from herbs to tomatoes, peppers, okra, everything. So we're just going to hop right in here. So we are going to start with our herbs and our flowers. First thing we've got here is some lemon balm. Everything pretty much that we're growing herb-wise is for medicinal purposes this year. We decided to do a whole bed dedicated to medicinal plants, seeing as the way of the world is today, you never know what's going to happen. So most of these are going to be medicinal plants. This next one is cardinal basil. We grew basil in the garden last year, and I think we will always grow basil in the garden. It's a really good companion plant. The reason that I picked this one, however, is that it actually has purple flowers on it. So you could pick those and put them in a bouquet for the table, which I'm sure AJ doesn't care as much about that, but I really liked that and thought it was pretty and different. So we picked that. I've got some chamomile. We're going to grow it for dried out to put in tea and things like that.
Tinctures and stuff.
Tinctures. This one I'll let AJ tell you about.
That is yellow toothache plant. I'm sure there's a more scientific name for it, but it's
there is, but I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure there's a flower name for it, but basically, early man discovered that if you take the flower off of this particular plant and put it in your mouth, if you have a sore mouth or a toothache, and chew it, it numbs your mouth. So it's a natural toothache remedy.
Yeah, and you can get it, obviously we got this one from Baker Creek. 95% or probably 98% of the seeds you're going to see today we did order from Baker Creek. They're our favorite company. They had two different varieties of this one. I think the other one was like a bullseye or something like that, but I thought this one was prettier. It had some color. I thought it would look good in the garden. So. And
we're going to experiment and see if we can make some maybe salve out of it to rub on other.
It says you can dry it out to make tinctures and things, so we're going to experiment with that. The next thing here is calendula. This is also medicinal. The reason I picked this variety, again, was because it was pretty. A lot of calendula that you see doesn't really have much color to it. And I'm sorry, it makes me happy if it's pretty. I know you guys think that too, at least the women do. But it's kind of tangerine, orange, pink colored, and I thought that was different than most calendula that you see, especially what you can buy in the store. And then the last part of our herbs, at least what we've got planned out so far, we'll probably do, you know, some kitchen herbs and things too, but is Sirius Blue Sage. And again, I picked that one because it looked a little different than just regular plain sage. So that is our medicinal plants. These that I'll show you here are going to be for pollination purposes and just making the garden pretty. I grew this last year. This is actually a hybrid. We don't grow very many hybrid flowers or vegetables or anything, but this caught my eye last year at Walmart and I thought it was pretty, so we grabbed it and we really did enjoy it this year. It was pretty, so we're going to plant it again. This is a regular sunflower. The red one I just showed you was a little smaller version. This is a regular size sunflower. We grew zinnias in the garden last year, and we actually just grew the Dollar Tree zinnias, which were like 25 cents a pack, and they were gorgeous. So I'm going to go back and get some more of those. But Baker Creek had several different varieties you can get. I think they're called peppermint stick, all kinds of different things. But this is the Queen Lime Red. And again, I thought the colors were pretty. And actually, we got these snapdragons last year. Snapdragons have always been one of my favorite flowers, but I don't think we actually grew any of these last year, did we?
I don't think so.
But anyway, I plan to start some of these and hopefully sell some and plant some in our garden too. Alright, so that's all for that. We'll go ahead and cover our beans because, as AJ likes to joke about, I'm really into green beans apparently, and purple beans, and any other kind of bean I can get my hand on.
Well, don't get me wrong, I love eating green beans. Love canning green beans, especially, using my great granny's recipe and stuff like that. But if you'd see this stack in front of
You're
her
going to
right
see this
now.
stack. Alright, these we did grow last year. They're from Walmart. They are organic. It's Burpee brand, and they are royalty purple potted green beans. And these are a bush variety. And they were really pretty. They did pretty well. Not as good as some of the other bush beans, but they still did pretty well. This one is a runner bean. It's called a Painted Lady. And again, the blooms on them are supposed to be really pretty. That's why it's called a Painted Lady. And we use the cattle petal trellises to do our runner beans and pole beans on. So I thought that would be really pretty. This is our tried and true Blue Lake bush beans. A lot of people where we live, old timers, that's what they grow is Blue Lake. And
My grandpa always did was Blue Lake.
yeah, and they were very prolific, and we will never not have these in our garden. I actually went ahead and bought another pack this year just because you don't know with shortages and things. So I've got extra. This, I wish that Baker Creek had sent me the pretty pack for me to show you. These are the dragon tongue beans. I'll insert a picture right here for you to see. We grew these last year, and they're really pretty. They're like a striped, they almost look like a rattlesnake bean. Most people have heard of that, but it's not a rattlesnake bean. They're dragon tongue. They're a little bit different. They're a bush variety also. This was the only pole bean we grew last year, and I did get these from Walmart. They are Kentucky Wonder, and they did really well, so we'll have those on a trellis this year. These two are new for us this year. I saw this contender. I've heard of a lot of people planting this, and I just thought I would try it and see how it does compared to Blue Lake and things like that. So we're going to plant a few of those. And then the last green bean, these are called asparagus beans or long beans. And I've always seen like Jess on Roots and Refuge, she grows noodle beans, and they look very similar to this. They're super long, and I thought they would look really cool hanging on the trellis. And these go really well in like a stir fry, or if you want to pickle them or something like that. So we thought that would be something a little different.
I don't think she's thinking through how much snapping we're going to have to do.
Oh yes, I love to snap green beans. I love to snap green beans and shuck corn. So I know that's probably weird, most people don't, but I do. Alright, let's see. These are peas, sugar and snap peas. Those are new for us this year. These are pink-eyed purple hull cow peas. And I saw that Homestead family grow these for the first time this year. It's the first time I had ever heard of them. And we did a little seed swap with them. We sent them some loofah gourds, and they sent us these to try, which was really sweet. So we're excited to try that. And we'll link their channel below. You guys need to go check them out. The only corn that we are going to grow this year is regular yellow sweet corn. This variety is from Baker Creek, and it is Golden Bantam. The reason I bought this variety was mainly because they were kind of short on their sweet corn varieties this year. Last year, I can't remember what the variety was that we grew, but we had a little bit of trouble with our corn last year. We've seen some things we're going to correct this year and hopefully have a better harvest. We also grew miniature blue popcorn last year, and it just didn't do well. We don't feel like we should give it space in our garden this year. As much space as corn requires, we want to focus on producing as much food as possible in light of everything going on. So that's the only thing we're going to do with corn this year. Moving on to peppers. This is a new variety for us this year. It's Corbaci peppers, and they look like a hot pepper to me, but they're not. They're sweet. They're good to snack, put in stir fries, that kind of thing. I love to just snack on peppers that you can get from the store, the little miniature bells and everything. So I thought those would be good for us to snack on. Next is Greg's Grande Jalapeno. And these we grew last year. Grew a ton of them last year. Our plants did super well, so we don't see a reason to ever grow another variety of jalapeno. We loved it. These are lilac bells. Last year I had a little trouble with these germinating, but I don't think that it was the variety. I just believe that it was that I didn't realize what kind of heat a pepper required to germinate. So we're going to correct that this year. But we did get several lilac peppers off of our plants. They did pretty well once they were transplanted. California Wonders. This is the variety that we grew for bell peppers last year as well. But we didn't let any of them turn red. We picked them when they were green. One thing we're going to do is leave our bell peppers on the plant longer and then have a bigger harvest at one time. That was a lesson we learned from last year. And lastly for the peppers is banana pepper. And we grew, I would say, probably 1,000 banana peppers last year. They did really well, just like the jalapeno pepper. We don't see a reason to try another variety, so I'm going to seed save as much as I can this year and regrow these varieties. And once you save the seeds, of course, they'll do even better and better in years to come. So
we planted, we started 6 plants inside last year. I think only 4 made it.
I think so.
But we got, I think, a total of 8 watermelons.
More than that.
Yeah.
The last harvest we got 8.
Yeah.
I think we probably got about 3 or 4 more before that.
They're Crimson Sweet watermelons from Baker Creek. We actually have a video of us trying it for the first time. If you haven't seen that, please check that out. They're very sweet. They're very good. Pretty good sized watermelons.
It's good for a small family.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get grandly huge or anything, but they were pretty good.
Yeah. And we might try another variety of that next year. I don't know, but I definitely wanted to use up these seeds before I bought any more. Because watermelons, that's one of those things, you know, you like to have in the garden. It's a good snack, but it's not really a necessity. It's just enjoyment.
This is our first year trying this. It's okra, Star of David okra. I don't know why you picked Star of David okra, but
Well, mainly because, again, Baker Creek with the shortages, I wanted Crimson Spineless. That's what I'd heard good reviews on, and they were out. So I picked the next best thing, read reviews, and saw what the description was, and I thought that fit us the best. So that's what I picked.
and I know it's not the healthiest way to eat it, but I love it rolled in cornmeal and
Yep.
fried.
And fried. So we'll make some of that up and put it in the freezer. That way we can just throw it in the pan and have it on winter.
This year we're only going to grow 3 different kinds of squash, and we're not going to grow traditional squash because we tried that last year. We lost all 3 plants to vine borers.
And I actually know now that I didn't know that's what was attacking the plants. I thought it was something on the outside just because I'd never had vine borers before. All my squashes always just produced like crazy. So I looked it up, figured out it was a vine borer. By that time it was too late. But you can slit your vine open, pull those little suckers out, and then wrap your plant back up. So if we have that happen with this squash this year, I know how to fix it, hopefully.
Right. Well, of course, we're going to grow some zucchini.
Mainly for zucchini bread and stir fry. But
Yeah, and it's not too bad if you are diabetic, if you make noodles, spaghetti noodles out of zucchini.
Oh yeah, I made you zucchini boats. Yeah, he really liked
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty good. Yellow scallop squash. Isn't that the same thing as, or close to patty
I
pan?
wanted patty pan because, again, I like the way it looked. But they were out of it. And to me, this looked very similar. Leave a comment below if you know, is this the same thing as patty pan squash? Because it looks very similar to me.
And we're going to try our luck at butternut squash this year. I just tried this maybe a week ago and I liked it. We put it in the air fryer and cooked it in little cubes like you would potatoes, and it's pretty good.
It was really good. A lot of people had recommended that we do butternut squash, and I thought we would give it a try.
The only cucumber we're doing this year is Boston pickling, which we did last year. We got a lot out of that. I love pickles. If nobody knows me well at all, you should know I love pickles. And these did wonderful, so we're just gonna continue on since they did good.
And these are a pickling variety. These are Boston pickling, and they do have little spines on them. A lot of people ask about that, and they do. That doesn't bother us. Usually if we're going to eat it just as a snack or something, we'll peel it anyway, so that part doesn't bother us. But we eat these fresh just like you would a slicer cucumber, but of course they're small and are good for pickling, so works two ways for us.
Yeah, if it's raw and not a pickle, I like it peeled. I don't eat it, so it doesn't matter. This is a Walmart seed, I think. Eggplants. I have never had an eggplant in my life, but we thought we'd try it. Everybody says they're good, so
we're just gonna do this. We've got a few little things in the garden this year that are going to be experiments to see if we like. The butternut squash is one, the eggplant's one. I really want to make some eggplant parmesan. That's something I've seen, and I thought it's probably really good because I love zucchini and things like that as a noodle replacement. So I think we'll like that.
We didn't have much luck last year with our beets. We planted them too late. It was too warm for them. We only got like 3 out of our...
But the ones we did get were massive.
And they were delicious, so we're going to plant them early, try to get an early spring or maybe late fall, or maybe both. Probably it depends. But we planted early wonders. It's also, I think, it's a Burpee. It's Walmart. But they were good. I like pickled beets, always have, and she makes them like my grandma did, so they're very good.
And I will gladly make them for him until we die, but I do not like beets. There's not very many vegetables that I'll complain about, and I mean, I would eat it if I was starving, but I don't care for it.
These we had no luck with last year, but we're going to continue to try because we want to try them. You cannot buy them in or any of our local stores. You can't buy them. So it's the cucamelons, the Mexican sour gherkin.
And part of the reason I'm not sure if it was user error or if it was the seeds, because I did get those seeds off of Etsy last year. It was one of those last minute, decided I wanted it, couldn't find it, so I went on Etsy and found it. So I'm not sure if I got bad seeds or what, but I tried starting them inside. I tried direct sowing them. I could not get them to grow at all. So we're going to try again this year.
And if you have any tips on it, we would greatly appreciate it. If you had success,
please let us know.
We love tomatoes here in any way, shape, or form, raw, cooked, whatever. And last year we did 3 or 4.
We did a couple paste type tomatoes, and then we did some slicer tomatoes, and that was it. Like 2 pastes and 2 slicers, and that was it. This year we're going to branch out a little bit.
The 2 we did last year that we started from seeds were our Black Beauties.
And we will always grow Black Beauties.
They are delicious. If you've never tried them, try them. When they turn black and get a little squishy, take them off the vine. They're delicious. They're very sweet.
And they're sweet, but they're meaty and almost have an earthy flavor to me. They're very... I can see the sweetness, but I can also see a very savory flavor.
And the St. Pierre. Very big, good slicer, I think, for sandwiches.
We had a really high yield, and they were, to me, seemed pretty disease resistant. We didn't have any blight problems.
Just the
hornworms was our biggest problem last year, and I'm not sure exactly what you can do to prevent those. You can just, control it once it happens.
We had a few of these that we actually got from a local
nursery,
but they did reasonably well, so we're going to try doing it ourselves. It's Amish paste. When we were canning tomatoes, I loved the Amish paste. They peeled so easy. You could just pretty much pop the whole thing out at one time. They were really big and meaty, and we want to do a lot more sauces and
pastes and things like that this year. So I'm going to grow a lot more than I did last year. And we grew Romas last year, and I don't plan to this year. In the past, I've had lots of luck. This year, not so much. And those were also store-bought tomatoes. Not sure if that has anything to do with it, but I'm going to skip the Romas and do more Amish paste this year.
I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'll leave this one up to her.
This one is the famous Dr. Weechie's Yellow. And the main reason I got this is because we didn't do we planted a Mr. Stripey last year, which we had a horrible time trying to find. But then the hornworm got a hold of the one plant that we had, and we didn't get very many off of it. But we wanted a pure yellow tomato, and I've heard great things about this. It's supposed to produce super big fruit, so we'll see about that. Also, we are doing a Lucky Tiger tomato. This is like it's not a cherry, but maybe a cocktail size, I guess. But it is green and red striped. And it says that it has flavors that are tangy, sweet, and complex. So we thought these would be good in salads. We are also growing black cherry tomatoes this year. And our friend Greg actually gave us some seeds that he has saved, so we're going to plant those first. I didn't realize he was giving us any, and we had already ordered these, but we're going to save these for a rainy day and plant the ones that he gave us first. And he also gave us some cocktail tomatoes, and we're going to try those. He said they're really good in salad. He said they're a good size, so we're going to try those out.
Guess this is the last of it.
I believe so. And this is kind of a
hodgepodge of different things.
And it'll be things that we plant like early on, early spring, before the full summer garden goes in. Nante Scarlet Carrots is how I'm believing that
these are from Baker Creek, but
yes.
They didn't send us a pretty package, so I guess we'll insert a picture.
Yep, I'll insert a picture. They're really pretty.
We have Brunswick cabbage.
And I'm not sure if we'll do that spring or if we'll just save the cabbage for fall. We'll see what we have time and space and everything for.
This next one I've never thought in a million years I would ever like. But here recently we've been trying to eat a little healthier. I mean we do, eat out of the garden and stuff, but
it's harder in the wintertime.
Yeah. And we've been having almond milk, kale, fruit smoothies and stuff for breakfast.
So excited about it.
Well, I would say what I normally say about the almonds, but I won't since this is YouTube. But certain things are missing from almonds that produce milk. I'll just leave it at that. But there it is. We're growing kale, which surprisingly I like. So
and it's good in soups and things too. So.
And this is Nero de. It's some kind of Italian name. We had horrible luck with all of our onions last year. Even onion sets, onion seeds, none of it. Our garlic is actually coming up from last year again this year, which
that's
is
how you're
awesome.
Supposed to do garlic a year ahead, but.
The onions, not so much, but we're going to try again this year with some yellow sweet Spanish.
And that's the same ones we tried to grow last year, starting seed.
Oh, Lord. We're going to try it again,
We're going to try again. I think part of it, again, was we just had one of the seed trays. And when I say seed trays, I don't mean one of the sales. I mean one of the trays. And we just put dirt in it and sowed a bunch of them. And that just was not a good idea. So we're going to do it the correct way this year. And also last year, springtime, right after we planted the garden, after we'd put our onion sets and everything in, we had rain for like 2 weeks. I mean, rain. And every day for 2 weeks. So I think that contributed to them not doing so well. So hopefully we can correct all that this year and have some onions. But mainly, I think we've covered everything that we didn't. Ground cherries. What did I do with the ground cherries?
Which again was another failed crop from last year. But
and again, I bought these from Etsy, so I'm not sure about the quality of the seeds. But these require extra work, like the cucamelons, as far as them being really warm, like when you start your peppers. So again, we're going to give it another try. I'm going to try some inside. If they don't germinate, I'll try direct sowing them. And if I don't have any luck again, then I'll just get some seeds, hopefully from Baker Creek. Like I said last year, that and the cucamelons were kind of a last minute venture and I couldn't find the seeds. So I went to Etsy. But if I have absolutely no luck, we'll get some Baker Creek seeds.
But again, if you have any tips or pointers, we welcome them.
Those are pineapple ground cherries. Oh, loofah gourds.
No.
Okay. We're tacking this off at the end. Loofah gourds. We had really good luck with our loofah gourds. You can go and check out the videos that we did on those of harvesting them and making soap and everything. And all these seeds are the ones that we saved out of just a few of the gourds that we harvested. So we'll be planting those, but we're actually not going to plant these in the actual garden this year. We saw an idea online, probably, I guess right after we planted our loofah gourds last year, to plant them on the outside of your chicken run and let them trellis over top of the run, and that will give your chickens shade. And also, if you've ever grown a loofah gourd, you know they take up a lot of space. They'll try to take over everything. So that'll keep it out of your garden and save you a whole lot of space for something else. So that's what we're going to try this year. Just wanted to throw that in there.
And they taste horrible.
You're not supposed to. But that's it for what we're going to be starting seeds on soon. Go ahead and check out our seed starting video if you'd like to see that. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And I know I love watching this time of year. I'm itching to start my seeds and get to gardening, so it kind of satisfies that itch to watch these kind of videos and see what everybody's growing this year. So you guys, if you have a video that you've shown your haul of what you're going to grow in your garden this year, leave it below and we'll check it out. We appreciate you guys checking out our videos and subscribing. It's really a blessing. If you continue to do that and share with other people, we'd appreciate it.
Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next video.